Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. We have a weather watch alert tonight, a gloomy and rainy day across Connecticut. We have video that we can show you right now of the radar. Look at all that green making its way across the state.
The Fox 61 Storm Tracker is out on the roads tonight, tracking all the latest conditions across the state. So let's check in with meteorologist Ryan Breton now with a look at the timing and what we can expect throughout the night and, in fact, into the morning. Ryan.
Hi, Brent and Jen. Pretty much what you see is what you get out of this storm system. It is a chilly rain across much of the state. Most of this is light to moderate rain, but there are some holes starting to appear on the radar, meaning there are some breaks in the action. Keeping an eye out in northwest Connecticut. That's where temperatures are right around the 32-degree mark. And putting the temperatures over the radar here, you can see Barkhamsted 32, Norfolk 32, and the pink coloring here indicating possibly some freezing rain. But outside of there, temperatures are safely above freezing. 38 in Hartford, 39 in Manchester, even 35 in Canton and 35 in Granby. So it really is just in those isolated areas in northwest Connecticut where there may be a little bit of freezing rain. Northeast Connecticut safely above freezing as well. And if you're watching from the shoreline, it's right around 40 or even 41 degrees in New Haven with some rain falling. So through the next 12 hours, periods of rain will continue through about midnight, and then it tapers off after that. The good news is we're not expecting a big freeze or anything like that tonight. Most of us will stay above freezing through the night, with the exception of northwest Connecticut. That's where some places may drop down to about freezing. By the way, tomorrow, maybe a couple of snow showers in northern parts of the state. We'll talk more about that coming up.
Okay, Ryan, thank you very much. Well, East Hartford police need your help finding the driver who hit and killed a pedestrian last night.
Yeah, this comes after we saw a record spike in pedestrian fatalities last year. Fox 61's Carmen Chow joins us near the intersection where it happened in East Hartford. Carmen, what do we know right now?
Well, Brent and Jen, police are saying that drivers just need to slow down in general. And when it comes to pedestrian, it is advised they wear bright reflective clothing, just like this bright safety vest I have on, so at least they stand out at night.
He was in tough shape. He had some pretty severe injuries.
Around 9:30 p.m. on Wednesday, police at Pitkin and Main Streets blocked off after they say a man was hit by a car. That man was later pronounced dead at Hartford Hospital. Business owners and workers in the area who did not want to speak on camera say this intersection can be very dark at night. But East Hartford Mayor Mike Walsh argues that is no excuse for a car to speed off after an accident.
This lighting or no lighting was a preventable accident.
Police describing the car as a silver Hyundai Elantra or Sonata between the years of 2011 and 2016, with damage to the front and driver's side of the car. Mayor Walsh emphasizing the town of East Hartford has 5,000 street lights and more can always be added. But in this case, he believes speed was a factor.
Cars that they make today want to go fast. They're quiet, they're powerful. Some of the roads, when we repave them, are actually designed for higher speeds. But at the end of the day, you're sharing the roadway with pedestrians, you're sharing it with bicycles.
Just last year, the Connecticut Department of Transportation recorded the highest spike in pedestrian fatalities in more than 40 years, the highest it has seen in the state since the 80s. As the state works to prevent more deaths, local police are offering these tips.
We ask that if you are walking at night, some type of reflective clothing to alert drivers that you're in the roadway would be very helpful, as well as abiding by the crosswalks and using the safety signals to cross the road.
Now, police have not identified the man who was killed here last night, but if you saw anything, you're urged to reach out to police immediately. I'm live in East Hartford. Carmen Chow, Fox 61 News.
All right, Carmen, thank you. Well, we continue to follow developing news out of Bristol after a pedestrian was hit by a car early this morning. Police say it happened on 1461 Farmington Avenue around 9. One person was hurt and taken to the hospital with minor injuries. No word yet on a suspect or arrests. We do have a call out to police and we'll update you as we learn more.
Well, as the Elm City investigates its fourth homicide of the year, they're taking a look back at the last 2 years and crunching some crime numbers. Fox 61 New Haven County Bureau reporter Julia LeBlanc goes through the latest CompStat report.
Brian Fox, Kieran Jones, Jorge Delgado.
Mayor Justin Elicker reading aloud the names of the people who were killed in New Haven in 2022. A total of 14 people were murdered. This year, the city has already lost 4 people in the first 3 weeks.
That being said, it is clear that we have a lot more work to do. And the 4 homicides that we've already experienced in these first 3 weeks of 2023 is an indication of that.
Just last night, 40-year-old Alexander Pedraza was shot at River and James Streets. He traveled about a block before police found him and gave him CPR. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police believe it was targeted and whoever shot him knew him.
We do have some video evidence from the area where they are seen talking and having some kind of interpersonal conflict prior to the shooting.
As police work to solve the latest homicide, they're looking back at last year's numbers. The 2022 CompStat report shows an overall decrease in violent crime in the Elm City, down by about 11% compared to 2021. But crimes like robbery and car thefts are up. The mayor says that's progress, due in part to improving old programs, investing in new ones, and new technology.
It's really important to understand that, believe it or not, this is not everything that is going to ultimately address gun violence.
Mayor Elicker says they're also tackling issues with school attendance, homelessness, and more. A breath of fresh air for people like Angel Pagan, tired of seeing their neighbors killed by gun violence.
You can be 15, 16, 17 years old. And it's a shame. It's a shame that people they don't get to chance to grow up, have family, because they take their life away early.
Now, in the case of Alexander Pedraza's murder, police say they do have some strong video from the incident, but they say if you were in the area at the time and if you know anything, to please give them a call. We're in New Haven. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61 News.
Julia, thank you. Well, this morning, business leaders and advocates from across the state gathered for the annual Connecticut Business and Industry Association Conference. Governor Lamont attended and shared his legislative proposals for business here in Connecticut. He shared that he's there to help businesses fill vacant jobs in any way he can.
Your initiatives on how we can best train the people for the next generation of jobs. It's a unique time when we have more jobs than people looking for them, and I want to take advantage of that. It really is an opportunity to lift everybody up.
The event was their yearly economic summit. The full budget proposal will be announced in February from the governor.
In this era of citizen journalism, there's a growing group of internet advocates who call themselves First Amendment auditors.
Yeah, some say they're protecting our rights, while others say they are antagonists who are in it for money. Fox 61's Matt Caron looked into the movement following some recent audits here in Connecticut.
Well, Connecticut is, of course, called the Constitution State, and this is an issue that's fundamental to our very democracy. The First Amendment of the Constitution, freedom of speech and freedom of the press. Shortly before Christmas, a team of First Amendment auditors entered the Ridgefield Town Hall with their cameras and started interacting with government officials.
Can you please shut that off?
No, it's silly.
What do you mean no? Get out of here.
Ridgefield public employee Patricia Pacheco eventually hit the panic button under her desk as the interaction between Pacheco and auditor Josh Abrams escalated.
Oh, ma'am, it's not going to be good. Don't do that. You're going to look very... Oh, all right, ma'am. All right. You're going to have to call someone now. Unfortunately, she's in trouble.
Ridgefield police responded and charged Pacheco with disorderly conduct.
We want to flex our rights and stress test the Constitution.
But State Representative Pat Callahan is looking into crafting state law to limit auditor access. He told Fox 61 he believes there's an ulterior motive.
Let's not even call them First Amendment people. What they're doing is trying to start a fight. If they were really interested in information, they certainly could pick up the phone and make an appointment with any of the departments at these town halls that they're trying to visit, and not come in and put their phone, an inch from your nose and try and provoke you.
But Abrams, who runs a YouTube channel called Accountability for All, told Fox 61 that while he does make money off the clicks, it's about the education.
It is a balance, but I can tell you one thing, that myself or many of the other large channels that do what I do, they never sacrifice the integrity of this movement for clicks and views.
Abrams responded to the idea of a state law putting rules on the Constitution.
It's a very dangerous precipice when the government has the ability to be the arbiter of who can and cannot exercise their rights.
During many of these encounters, police are called.
It's really mutual respect. If you show up and give anybody you're dealing with the respect that they deserve, you're going to get it back.
Ridgefield Police told us they conduct internal training on First Amendment rights.
We advise the public and all the other town agencies to do the same internally.
Ridgefield Police tell us these auditors know to stick to the public areas. As for that public employee, she was given the chance to apologize and avoid a charge. She refused, but her disorderly conduct charge was eventually dropped. Callahan admitted it's difficult to be able to craft a law that would still be in line with the Constitution, while Abrams told Fox 61 that if this does become a law, it would be, quote, as good as the paper it's written on. Reporting in Ridgefield, Matt Caron, Fox 61 News.
All right, Matt, thank you. Well, the state police union and the governor have come to a tentative labor agreement. It would cover troopers, sergeants, and master sergeants through June of 2026. The agreement includes significant investments in recruitment and retention of the state police force. Upon review and approval of the agreement by union members, the agreement will be submitted to the Connecticut General Assembly for final approval.